Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the link provided on Facebook and YouTube, we thank all of you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So, for all of our listeners and viewers, we are in the midst of a FijiWater.com sponsored promo. So if you go to WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio at WKAPFaith.com, that is our website, WKAPFaith.com, where we play music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The music will encourage you, it will empower you, and it will inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that you can possibly become. But every day at 12 p.m. or 6 p.m., the first three songs that you hear played starting at 12 p.m. or 6 p.m., list those songs along with your name and your email address. Text them to the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. Again, that's 267-992-1424. We will select one of our listeners and viewers to win a case of Fiji Water from FijiWater.com. One case a month we're giving away to our listeners and viewers. So someone's going to be selected to win a case of Fiji Water from FijiWater.com. It might as well be you. And I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we are excited about the fact that we've experienced another increase in listener and viewership, both on the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, the Sunday sermon, and of course, the Sunday sermon is on our YouTube channel at New Life Christian Center _Pastor Pope. And of course, Daily Divine is Daily Divine Direction. Now, we also have noticed observed an increase in our listener and viewership, our listeners on the internet radio station at WKAPFaith.com. So continue to push it out. Continue to encourage everyone you know. Tune in, because it's music that's going to bless our lives. That's the reason that we play it. That's the reason that we are here, to make certain that everyone has the opportunity to experience a relationship with the Lord that will take them into the fullness of God. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have not allowed men to get close to you for 90 days. However, the relationships never last more than 90 days. And you want to know, what are you doing wrong? So let me break this down. I know there's a lot of talking points out there in our society. People are telling you, you should set these rules. You shouldn't, you have to make certain that you keep your distance from people. Don't let them get too close to you. Don't let them get overly involved for a period of time. Let me help you out with something. Because I'm going to tell you exactly what happens with men. And I'm going to tell you that right after I make this statement. What you're doing wrong is you're starting relationships with rules, not goals. Every one of us has to start a relationship with relationship goals. You have to start a relationship with goals, lifestyle goals. You have to start a relationship with lifetime goals. You can't start them with rules because rules are going to be broken. If you set rules for someone else, they can't get any closer to you than just taking you out from time to time for the next 90 days. You'll never make it 90 days. And the reason is because men are going to lose interest in you if you keep them at a distance. I'm not suggesting, I don't want anybody to misunderstand this. I'm not suggesting that you lay down with every person you date. What I am suggesting is you got to allow them to get close enough to you to know their goals and their relationship goals. You got to let them show you their lifestyle goals, and you have to let them show you their lifetime goals. You also have to have relationship goals, lifestyle goals, and lifetime goals. And then the two of you have to determine, can you merge those goals together? So I'm going to walk you through each component of that. And before I do, I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, please, you're going to have to put up with me because I am my allergies are still bothering me and I am not feeling well today. So there's a combination of things going on. But I'm here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio. Here's the reality. Relationship goals have to mean this. You're dating on a mission. You're not just dating for entertainment, for sport, for pleasure. So you have to say to yourself, every man you meet has to have relationship goals, or don't go any further. Don't even go out with them. I told everyone, take them to church, tell them to take you to church and out to lunch 3 Sundays in a row, but the very first Sunday, you want to find out what are his relationship goals. Does he want to be married? I know people will tell you, no, don't ask a man that. You need to ask a man that. Because if he doesn't want to get married, he's not ready to get married. If he tells you he doesn't want to get married, he may not know that he wants to be married, but he may not marry you. But what he means is he's not ready to be married. If a guy tells you, you know what, no, I'm not interested in getting married. And I didn't say ask him, does he want to marry you? I said ask him, do you have any plans? Is it your goal to be married? That's the very first thing you need to know. If he says, someday I do want to get married, then you've opened the door of conversation, but he's opened the door of response, which means, pardon me, that he will respond to you. If he says to you, I don't know, run, Forrest, run. Because he doesn't know, he doesn't have a plan. He's got to have relationship goals. Yes, I do want to be married someday. Do you want to have children? Yes, I do want to have children. What is your 7-year plan? My 7-year plan is this year I want to accomplish this personally and professionally. Next year I want to accomplish this personally and professionally. The year after that I want to accomplish this personally and professionally. All of this will take up, if he goes through 7 years, it will take up your brunch. The problem is people go out and all they talk about is when they're going to go out again, where they're going to go out again, where they like to travel, whether or not they like to drink, what they like to drink, what's your favorite drink, where do you like to hang out. These are the conversations people are having when they go on dates. None of those are fruitful. None of those are going to bear any fruit. So you have to have he has to have relationship goals. You can't say to him, I'm only going to let someone get close enough to me for the next 90 days so that I protect my heart. That is never going to work out well. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because a man who's on a mission, he is interested in getting married, having a family, whether you have children or not. If he feeds them long enough, they'll look just like him. In other words, you have to have relationship goals. That's how you're going to determine whether or not you're compatible. And then he has to have lifestyle goals. So the next time, the next brunch after church, you can talk about the lifestyle goals. What is he like? If he wants to hang out at hookah lounges, he's not for you. If he wants to hang out and be a barfly, he's not for you. If he wants to be a lounge lizard, he's not for you. If he wants to just spend his time hanging out with his boys, he's not invested in having a relationship. That's a lifestyle. Is he healthy? What's his family health history look like? You know, the very first thing, and I tell everyone this, and I've said this in a Sunday sermon before. When you have your annual physical, and hopefully everyone is getting one, when you have an annual physical, if you just are seeing a doctor for the very first time, he's going to ask you about your family history, your family health history. And if you are continuing to see that physician on an ongoing basis, he or she becomes your primary physician. He's going to ask you every year, if he's thorough, he's going to ask you, like my doctor does, he's going to ask you, are there any changes in your family history, health history? Are there any changes? There's a reason that they ask those questions, because that is not only family history, but that's also going to have an impact on your lifestyle and your lifestyle goals. So is your lifestyle goal to be as healthy as you possibly can? Is your lifestyle goal to be healthy? When I say healthy as you possibly can, that means that you've got to eliminate a lot of things from your daily health and wellness, your nutrition. You've got to be working out. You've got to make certain that you're maximizing your health. And is that part of your lifestyle goal? Is your lifestyle goal just to be healthy and get some exercise? That means you're still probably eating some of the things you want to eat, but you're not a vegetarian, a vegan, or a pescatarian. The good news about that is some days during the week you can be any one of those you choose to be. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but you're still going to improve your health. You're going to, and I'm going to use an example, lifestyle goals. So my wife said to me this morning, she was reading an article, and she said, you know, it confirms something that we've known for a very long time, and that is you've got to really consume as much vitamin D as is prescribed or directed, because it will enhance your health and wellness. Well, we've been taking vitamin D for a very long time, plus we're out in the sun as much as possible, doing things that we enjoy doing. You know, my wife enjoys plants and things to that effect. I enjoy golf. We both like to run. So we get sunshine, plenty of natural vitamin D, but we also take supplements. And so she said to me, this is what this doctor had to say about vitamin D. Well, my physician told me that many years ago. Vitamin D will help reduce the possibilities of cancer. So you've got to just want to be healthy, and you got to look for ways to be healthy. And that also is going to have an impact on your lifestyle. You're not going to be drinking, you're not going to be smoking, you're not going to do things that are going to be conducive. In other words, not getting enough sleep, being sleep deprived. You're going to do things and improve things. You're going to do things that will improve your health. That's a lifestyle. So you got to have lifestyle goals. And then you have to have lifetime goals. What's your goal for not only your future, but the future of your children, your grandchildren, your unborn grandchildren? You all hear me talk about those things often. That is a lifetime goal. You've got to be able to know those three things, and anyone you date, you need to know those three things about. Now, if they don't last for 90 days, and I'm not suggesting that you keep people at arm's length for 90 days, pardon me, but if they don't last for 90 days, you have to conclude that that's not the person God has appointed for your life, and separate yourself from what God has not appointed for your life. So this is what I'm going to tell you you're doing wrong. You are starting relationships with rules instead opposed to starting relationships with goals. You've got to set some goals, not some rules, in order to really determine and select the person that has found you, that God has appointed for your life. And if you can do that, I can certainly tell you that you're going to find that your whole dating life is going to change. And this is for all of our listeners and viewers. Those of you that are single, life will change for you if you try a different approach. Those of us who are married, we have things that we can do to make certain that our marriage is sustainable. Check our attitude, check our behavior, check our character, our level of commitment. Check are we being diligent every day and being the best that we can possibly become? Do we have an excellent spirit about trying to move life forward? Are we being creative? Are we being innovative? Are we doing everything that we possibly can to make progress? That's what we do when you're married. Those of you that are single have to get there. I tell everyone, don't make marriage a job. Marriage should be about building a great quality of life together. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Comcast Business. If you need to be more effective and more efficient in business, contact Eunice at Comcast Business at 222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope, and you will receive an $800 prepaid Visa gift card with a qualifying bundle at Comcast Business. Call Eunice at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope, and receive an $800 prepaid Visa gift card with a qualifying bundle. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you have not met a man who can keep up with you. It takes a lot for a man to spend time with you, and you want to know, how do you find someone who can keep up with you? Well, that's a problem. Let me tell you the problem. You're not ready to be a wife. You say that you want someone who can keep up with you, and that's the person you want to marry. That's what you said in your communication. But you're not ready to be a wife. And the reason is because you still want to run. Men will only run with you until they get exhausted. So what you got to know is, men are not designed to keep up with you. You're a lot. You admitted that in your communication. And no man is going to want to run that course for a long period of time. You have him jumping over hurdles. You have him running and jumping over hurdles, and then after he completes the hurdles, you want him to run an 800-meter race, and then after he's done with the 800 meters, you want him to run a half marathon, and then after he's done with the half marathon, you want him to, so a half marathon is 13.1 miles, and then you want him to run a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles. No man is going to want to do that in a relationship. You said you want a relationship, but no one can keep up with you. You've got to slow your pace. If you're going to be someone's wife, there are exceptions to every rule, but every man that you've dated, you've exhausted. Because you want to be on the scene, on every scene. You want to be noticed and observed. You want to be seen. You want to be excited. You want to be the belle of the ball, for lack of a better term. No man can keep up with that. Not for any indefinite period of time. You see, you got to understand something. So I've used this analogy before, but I need you to understand this. Men are nesters by nature. You go all the way back to the cave, man. There's a reason they were called cavemen. And then we became more advanced and developed, and we then chose a man cave. And the reason is because we're nesters by nature. But we have to find someone who we can nest with that, first of all, the Bible says it's better to live on the corner of a rooftop than to live in a house with a contentious woman. So we're not looking for someone, and I'm going to give us all something to absorb today. We're not looking for someone who's going to be contentious. We're not looking for someone who is going to have a bad attitude. We're not looking for someone who is trying to make life difficult. We just want someone who's going to be in the cave with us, who's going to nest with us, who's going to build a family with us, and who's going to build a great quality of life with us. Okay. That's not exhausting. It requires effort, but it's not exhausting. You want a man who's going to come back to the cave with the meat that he's killed, not suggesting you aren't going out and killing some meat yourself, but you want someone who's going to come in, put the meat in the refrigerator. I want you to visualize this. And then you want him to go back out with you. Not for food, but to wine and dine. Now, not for food that's going to sustain you, but food that's going to pleasure you. You want to be out and about where everyone can see you and everyone knows you by name. That's who you choose to be. The problem with that is you're going to exhaust every man that you date, and eventually they're going to stop dating because no man wants to be out all the time. There are exceptions to every rule, but they're searching for something entirely different than a wife. You say you want to be in a relationship, you'd like to get married, but you don't want to have children because you want to be out and about. And if that's what you want for the rest of your days, no man is going to be able to keep up with you. Every man, sooner or later, is going to get exhausted from being out all the time and is just going to want to be at home, relaxing and enjoying the home that they built for themselves, the nest that they built for themselves. There's a reason that there's an old adage that says a man's home is his castle. Who wants to leave the castle? Now, You can keep going at the pace you're going, but you're going to exhaust every man that you date. Slow your roll, slow your pace, and you'll find someone who's compatible for you. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. Charles Tyrwhitt has everything a man could possibly need. And if you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. Home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are married and thought you wanted to be married. However, you've been married now for 2 years, and you said you do not want to be married anymore because you want more excitement in your life. You know, let me just say this to you. Excitement eventually turns to chaos. You're going to live, you're going to get divorced and then live with regrets because you're looking for excitement. And excitement will eventually turn to chaos. Chaos will eventually turn to drama. And drama never plays out well. You know, you're just going through an adjustment period. And let me tell you what that looks like. When we get married, sometimes people don't realize that you don't only bring your life experiences, you know, the way you've lived your life while you were single. You don't only bring those life experiences to the relationship or to the marriage. Your spouse also brings their life experiences and their personality to the relationship or the marriage. So now what you have is two people trying to adjust to the fact that there are certain things that you've been doing your entire life that now you have to do differently. And I'm not talking about compromising. I'm talking about just simply being two different individuals. And you expect everything to fit together in a very short period of time. It doesn't work that way. Marriage is not designed that way. Because both of you are bringing life experiences that you should be able to benefit from. You'll understand a lot more. And two is better than one. So you have each other to prop each other up. But the idea is that you both have seen different things. You both have experienced different things. And because you have, you now can bring those experiences to the table and begin to build a great quality of life together. You've only been married for 2 years. Okay, you got married during a pandemic. You got married during something that hadn't occurred in 100 years. And you've learned to dwell together, but you haven't learned how to do marriage together. You say you thought you wanted to be married. Well, you did want to be married. Now you think it should still be exciting. Well, marriage is life. And life is busy, and life can be difficult. We're looking for ways to build our way through the difficulties, overcome circumstances, deal with challenges, and in the end, build a great quality of life for you and your family. It's only been 2 years. 2 years. It's not going to be the way that it always was when you were single, and it's not going to be the same for him as it always was when he was single. You're trying to merge two lives together. You just have to learn to make the adjustments along the way. Because there will be some adjustments. Neither of you can do all of what you want to do because it's not good for a great life together. If you get divorced now, when there's nothing else going on other than you want more excitement, you will eventually live with regrets. And we all have to learn to live with those. We all make decisions that at some point in life that we regret, and we have to live with those decisions. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. Taste of Paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at Fiji Water.